Hi everyone! Okay, so in my last video, I was mostly talking about the causes of autism. Mostly misconceptions, as there's more of like theory and what people tend to believe is the cause of autism than there are actual facts of what causes it to develop. And again, prior to birth, because it's there from birth. Anyway, so if you're interested in looking at it, you should check it out. But this video, I'm just going to start talking now about traits of autism. Some common ones or ones perhaps most people aren't aware of. So this one is just going to be talking about exceptional memory, because a lot of people with autism, or at least some people with autism, tend to have a very exceptional memory, especially in the long term. Now, before I really get into it, I just got to make a mention. If you like the content and you want to see more, please follow, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, repost the video, and in the comments, make your requests, give some questions, because I love answering questions. And that's kind of the point, because it's nice to know what people want to know, and then I can cover it. Right. So here we go. Now, a lot of the time, people with autism struggle with executive functioning in the brain, right? Which is about planning and retaining information. Despite that, some people with autism have a very exceptional memory, but I say some just because, as I've said before, people with autism differ, like how it affects them from person to person and severity on the spectrum. So I can't say everyone, but I can say some. And even with people who commonly, like people with autism, and if there's more than one who have an exceptional memory, they're not going to be the exact same kind of method of remembering, if that makes sense. But I'll get into it now. So I mentioned long-term memory. A lot of time, people with autism may forget things in the short term, like, I'm really good with lists and scripts and things like that, but sometimes if someone's talking to me one-on-one and they tell me something, I'll forget what they just said. So then I feel awkward, because then I'm like, oh damn it, if the conversation continues, I won't know what we're actually talking about, though they just said it. And it can look like you're being ignorant or rude, but it's just almost like, I know, there's a blank in your brain, and it's very frustrating to try and remember. However, plenty of people with autism, including myself, can recall details from like years ago or when you were younger, like as a kid, with vivid detail. Now, for example, there were moments in school that I could sit and do videos about memories, and I could remember them step by step. There are days I've had in my life when I was really young to when I was a teenager where I can recall them again, step by step, from morning to the moment I went to sleep. A lot of the time, I think that comes down to exactly what's happening in the day, because there's also something about sensory information. Now, sensory information for people with autism is a big thing. There are sensory challenges, but there's also some people seek sensory stimulation. In this case, it's like you're remembering specific senses from something that happened. So a feeling, a scent of smell, something you saw, something you heard, something you felt, and that alone will retain the information in your brain for years to come. So, same with me. Mostly mine seem to be based on emotions, really strong emotions. So if I had a really, 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 really good day where everything seemed to fall into line perfectly for me, I can remember that very, very easily. Like, I went to Greece, and I can remember almost every day because I bloody loved the place. But then at the same time, I couldn't tell you what happened, say, 3 days ago. Now, I did a video 3 days ago, so I know that happened, but everything else I can't recall. It also depends, I think, a lot of time on interests, because people with autism might have very intense interests for something, and then if there's a fact or a piece of information that pops up, they'll learn it off by heart. So, with me, I love my TV shows, and I love my geek stuff, I love my anime. First time I watch an episode, I remember everything that happens in that episode easy peasy. I will rewatch it again because I love it, but if I'm watching it with someone who perhaps only retains half of the information from the show, they may really love it, but it's not uncommon if a show is really long for you to forget certain things that happen or certain things that are said. And I watch a lot of these shows, for example, with my mother. Now, she may not remember everything, and we'll be sitting there, and she'll ask, oh, isn't this when something dies? Or isn't this when this person finds out that this person has betrayed them? Something like that. And I'll be there like, oh yeah, or no, that happens like about 3 episodes from now. I can be that specific. And it's like taking quizzes about shows that I like online, and I know all the facts, even the ones that I said. Board games, same thing. I love the Harry Potter movies. We have a Harry Potter board game, and I win every time just because I can retain the information because I love the show. So, and the books. So the same with books. I'll remember everything that happened in the book from the beginning to the end, and I'll love it. I'll even might remember the chapter depending on what it is I'm reading. So that's all based down to interests and details and things. But at the same time, like I said, short-term memory can be absolutely crap. Like I said, I can't remember 2 days ago. But that's why it's so strange. It's a part of autism that I don't think a lot of people are aware of typically. But at the same time, like I said, my scripts, I just need to read the lines a couple of times and I retain it. It can make it appear almost like people with autism who have good memory have a photographic memory. But it's not photographic, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's something like rote memory or something like that. I think that's the right term. So basically learning it off by heart very easily. And lists for like the shop, you know, even though that's short-term memory, if something is put in a list format, I can remember it very easily. I passed some of my exams when I was younger by retaining the information, by remembering it like it's a list. I have a party trick I use for when people come over sometimes to prove my memory is really good. By getting a pack of 50 cards, I've shuffled them up randomly. My mother will just put them down in front of me one after the other, and I will just remember them. And I told her, the way it comes across my head, it's like in my head I associate those, a deck of cards, with like gambling or casino. So I imagine like a green table, and I imagine them laid out in fives, because I like the number 5. And I don't remember the numbers, I remember the colour, black, red, black, like that. And then I can recall it after that. It's very easy. It works very fast. And that's common for people with autism who have good memory. That's how they remember. They remember based off of like symbols or colours, not just senses. So, like I said, it looks like it's extraordinary memory, but it's not. And it also, again, some people can, sometimes, especially with subjects, it can lead to like the belief that people with autism have an incredible amount of intelligence. Now that really depends on the individual, not whether or not they're intelligent, but more or less what they're learning. For instance, facts, I'm great at learning facts, but mostly facts about things I like. For instance, I'm not great at understanding about cars. I don't know a lot about cars and vehicles and stuff like that, but I love mythology. And there's a hell of a lot of information taken if you're looking at the classics and at mythology. And I'm not just talking Greek, I'm talking Greek, Egyptian, Norse, Japanese, Native American, Hindu, anything, right? Pagan, like Welsh, like I am. So I'll remember these facts really easy, and if a question comes on a game show, I know the answer. But if a question comes on a game show about make a car when it was made, I wouldn't know. But if someone with autism really into cars and not so much into mythology, it'll be the other way around. Sorry about that, I got called away for something. Anyway, because that video flowed really well, and I think I got everything out pretty clearly, especially considering it's me, I was just gonna end the video there anyway. So I'll say again, if you like the video and you want to see more, because in the next video I'm going to talk about more traits of autism, then please, you know, follow, like, leave a comment, questions in the comments, requests in the comments, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and repost the video, as I said earlier. And till then, I hope you have a great day, great night, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you then. Bye!